Good morning, running ears, and I'm still here at Disney. I'm in my hotel. That's why I'm not wearing a mask. I'm in my room. So I just wanted to do a short video of what to expect if you're coming here, what to do, how to plan your trip, and this goes if you're coming and you're not in a pandemic. But in this time right now, I think it's a lot better to plan it this way than to not do it. So, anyways, so with that said, let's start off with the first thing. First of all, you're going to decide what you want to do. What do you want to get out of this trip? Do you want to visit all four parks? Do you just want to relax? Do you want to visit two parks and relax? So that's the first thing I would do. I would sit down and I would say, man, I really want to see this park. I really want to see this park, and go from there. So let's say you want to visit all four parks. All four parks are open starting next week. So starting the second week in September, they're going to be limited time. So, but the parks have basically become a half-day parks because of everything that's closed and the fact that there's not a lot of people there. Now, with them raising capacity shortly, it may change, so keep looking out just in case they change. And that's going to be a big theme today, is keep looking out because things can change. All right, so once you decide what you want to do, so you say I want to go to all four parks. All right, so now where are you going to stay? So of course you can stay on property or you can stay off of property. If you stay off property, I'm just going to go through it pretty quickly. You're going to have to find a way to get to the parks, and it is a little bit harder to make park reservations. So let me backtrack a little bit. You have to make a park reservation for your whole party. So there's 5 of you and only 4 have park reservations. Only 4 of you are gonna be able to get in. Don't be surprised if you get to the front and they say, sorry, but mom can't go in. And they say, well, we're all together. Sometimes they can do their Disney magic. They can pull their Disney magic, but a lot of times they can't. So be prepared, okay? So let's go back to where you're going to be staying. So if you stay off property, you're going to have to find ways to get on property, and you don't have as much access to parks as if you're staying on property. People that are staying on property usually have more park access. All right, so where are you going to be staying? Now, this is true as of now. Not all resorts are open. I'll repeat that. Not all Disney resorts are open, the on-property ones. So you have to look to see which ones are open. There is some scheduled to open up soon, but that can change. So please keep looking. All right, so for example, I'm staying at Pop Century. This is Pop Century, yeah. And right across the way to my right, if I exit and I go this way, in between us, there's art, or on the other side, there's Art of Animation. So if you cross Hourglass Lake, you will get to Art of Animation, and in between there is actually the Skyliner. So I chose Epcot because 2 of the parks I want to go to, including Epcot, which I'm going to today, is on the route of the Skyliner, so it's pretty easy to take. Skyliners can go down, so in that scenario they always have buses ready, but be prepared that as of now, the only way you can get to Hollywood Studios or Epcot from Caribbean, the Caribbean Beach Resort, the Riviera, and of course Pop Century, where I'm staying at, is a Skyliner. So there won't be any bus service. So I have seen people go to the front and they've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and they said, Mary, where's my bus? And it's not there. So where to stay also has to do a lot with the buses, because buses are not running on a regular schedule right now, where they used to say time. So like if it was right now, it's 8:55, it would say next bus arriving here at 9. So you would be ready. You would be ready at 9. Now it gives you a range. It says from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. And early in the morning and late at night, there's more buses. But during the day, you can be waiting for a long time. So that's another thing that you got to take into consideration. That's why I like the Skyliner, because the Skyliner runs continuously. So I can come right back to my resort if I want to, then go back if I want to, and it runs continuously. Skyliners can't, like I alluded to before, they can go down, and they did the other night because of lightning. Now remember that It's probably going to rain during your trip. So if there is lightning, the Skyliners go down. So just be prepared to do that. Now once you've decided, so I decided I wanted to go to 4 parks. I decided I have really good access because I found out that I have really good access through the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios and to Epcot. And I do have the bus to the other 2. So I decided to stay at Pop Century, or I narrowed it down, let's say, to Pop Century and Caribbean. The next step is going to be price. So not all resorts cost the same. You know, they have the different tiers. They have the value, the moderate, and of course the higher end ones. So that's something that you got to take into consideration. Right now, there is some great deals for all hotels. Or for all resorts, I should say. So even like the Contemporary was $297 a night, which is pretty cheap for the Contemporary resort, and you can oversee Magic Kingdom. So that's something that you got to take into consideration. But let's go back to my scenario. I chose Pop Century because it was about $45, $50 less a night than Caribbean Beach was. Now I like Caribbean Beach, and that actually has an easier access with the Skyliner to Epcot and to Hollywood Studios. But I chose this one because I sat there going like, well, I'd rather have the savings, get up a little bit earlier. I can do that, and then in the afternoon and in the evenings, it doesn't really even matter. So that's why I chose that, because I sat there and I could make an extra. I can eat an extra meal inside of Disney, a sit-down meal. I can buy some more souvenirs, but that's just me. That's my choice. So play around with the numbers. Now, people that have families, it's going to be a lot different because, again, a room like my room has one king-size bed. It has a pull-down, which is actually where I'm recording, so 4 people can comfortably fit here. Now, again, if you have 5, 6, 7, 8, you might have to get a suite or 2 rooms. So that would come into play. And I'm going to leave you with this. I was just giving some information to somebody, and I said, ask for deals. Repeat that. Ask for deals. They're not just going to give them to you. It's very rare that they say, right now we're having a sale on this. The cast members just sit there going like, what do you want to win? And so ask them, do I get a discount for a senior citizen? Do I get a disability? Do I get Costco? Whatever it is, just throw everything at them. That way they can give you some kind of deal. So I'm sorry, I know it's a little bit dark in here. I tried opening up the curtains as much as I can, but yeah, the room is a little bit darker, and since again, there's lights over there, but there's no lights over here, so that's why it's a little bit dark. Besides that, tips on in the parks. Okay, so right now the cast members, and I put this down on Facebook, the cast members are doing a fantastic job. They're all wearing their masks. They're all day, obviously when they go on break, they have their break room and so forth, but they've been wearing their masks. They've been telling people to wear their mask. So they're not responsible for people that are in the parks that are not wearing their mask, and I have one right here, because yesterday I was on a ride and saw quite a few people doing this. They were doing this, which really doesn't do anything, and of course they'll do this. And so they'll walk around like this, they'll see a cast member, and then they'll go, put it back up. Or when the cast member tells them to put it back up, they do this, and then as soon as they cross them, they do this. So just be careful. I like to think about it this way. I hate wearing masks, just like a lot of people do. But I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it to protect you, your family, and if there's anything I can do to protect that you and your family, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be selfish to do that, but just be prepared you're going to be in line, and you're going to have somebody turn around, and they're going to have their mask down. I notice that with children, it's harder to control them, so they're going to be with their mask off, running around, and it happens more and more when as the week has progressed. The parks have gotten a little bit more packed, so there's more people. Then it's happened a little bit more. Earlier in the week, when I was at Epcot and Animal Kingdom, and it was so empty, there everybody was complying. It was so easy to keep that going. All right, so if you have any questions, please put the questions down below. I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. Please subscribe to the channel. The channel is starting to grow a little bit, so I want it to continue growing, and So I'll continue to give insights about Disney, but of course I'm going to go back a lot more to do Run Disney events, especially hopefully now that they're coming back up. And with that said, I have to say something. I did not run at all when I was over here, so a week off of running, but I did get about 27 to 28,000 steps per day walking around the park, so I got a lot of cardio in. But what's it called? Subscribe, tell your friends about the channel. Hopefully we'll see you sooner than later, and create a magical day.